This is my thought, okay? Before anyone like comes in with their very strong opinions or whatever. My thoughts on the Cygames AI stuff. First of all, I feel like this is already pretty clear from previous conversations we've had. AI, like I have said, it could be as much of a tool as it is a weapon. It can be very harmful to people as well as very beneficial and, you know, be able to produce good outcomes, right? I think that's obvious. In terms of like as a consumer, as long as the quality doesn't suffer, as long as the writing is maintained, as long as the spirit of umamusume is good, I cannot say that whatever this is objectively a bad thing. If you see like AI artwork and AI generated assets, a lot of it is dog shit. Like a lot of it is just obviously on its face dog shit. It takes people curating it in order for it to produce a good outcome. This is my experience with AI. Arc Raiders, I'm sure a lot of you guys have played this, is a game that has AI components in it. If you ever looked at like the arcs, they have very animal-like movements. Part of that is something that is created with AI. There are cases where AI can produce something that is sort of novel and enhances the experience. If you want to know why AI is, for the most part, slop and just shit, just ask Jesus. Or ask AI Jesus, that is. Everyone's worried about streams just being sort of taken over by AI. Everyone's gonna do AI. You can ask AI Jesus if AI is going to take over streaming. Going apeshit about it, it's not irrational, okay? People are losing their jobs, their livelihoods about this, right? Because of this. People are being replaced because of this. And they're not like, oh, evil, bad localizers that are only being replaced. It's good people doing good, honest work. And what I think is, at least from a consumer standpoint, a lot of it is being replaced by slop. I mean, just look at the Amazon dubs. Have you guys seen the Amazon anime dubs?
No.
Huh?
Banana.
But banana that fish, it was banana.
You're still good enough as you are.
You piece of shit.
What?
I told you you're a piece of shit. Nothing but an overgrown fat pig.
So AI is as much the future as it is like when humans have to curate it. Humans have to be able to ensure its quality. Like, this is bad. A lot of game companies are either lying to you or admitting that they use AI. A lot of the games industry is doing that. As far as we know, umamusume doesn't use AI. What should be done, if it's something we really care about that much, it should be something you push for like legislation on. Like, oh, let's hold these companies liable and get them to disclose what is being used. I don't like what's happening on Twitter, right? I don't like Grok being able to do the image generation. I don't like it producing, you know, CSAM or whatever material, or even undressing women. I think that's dog shit. Again, I look at other content out there, like, I don't know, Arc Raiders and their use of machine learning and AI for their animations. And like, there are good things and good outcomes from AI. There are good outcomes and there are very egregious bad outcomes. But one thing I want to talk about too, or from what I noticed, first of all, this announcement. We are pleased to announce the establishment of our wholly owned subsidiary, Cygames AI Studio, Company Limited, which will focus on the development and provision of services and tools utilizing AI. If you take a look, there's not really that much details. Generative AI, which has emerged in recent years, is an important technology with the potential to transform accumulated knowledge into the driving force behind the next wave of creativity. At the AI Studio, Cygames will pursue AI technology that creators can use safely and securely, drawing on the experience it has cultivated in game development. From research and development of its own models, it's providing services and tools for production service sites. The company will build a unique creative cycle that goes beyond simply improving efficiency to expand creators of creativity. Through the establishment of the AI Studio, Cygames will take on the challenge of creating new user experiences to realize its vision of being a company that creates the best content. Obviously, with the backlash or with what AI looks, the overwhelming reputation of AI, it seems ironic and, you know, kind of a joke, like this statement. But why I'm bringing this up is that this is a subsidiary. It does not guarantee nor does it confirm that they are going to be using this for umamusume. There's no confirmation or any sort of statement that they are going to be using this for umamusume. And in fact, I think personally, if we're talking about like Twitter quote retweeting it and giving them shit for it and backlash, I'm in full support of it. I am in full support of letting your voice be known and telling them that, hey, whatever their feelings is, if they hate AI, that's fine too. I'm okay with them expressing it, because at the end of the day, I want them to be scared. I want them to be afraid. I want them to be wary of using AI irresponsibly. I think we all can agree on that. I don't want them to produce things that are of objectively worse quality. I don't know if you guys know this, but Cygames is like a big company. In Japan, they're probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest gaming company. Like, if you take a look at their works, they have a lot of IPs. It doesn't make any sense to me that they would ruin or taint whatever they've already built a lot of success on. I don't really type much in chat, but I'm about to graduate with basic graphic design degree soon. I just want to share my experience with this whole AI art situation. We're currently being told to use AI as a tool to help us with our work, to take the ideation phase and coming up with what we have in mind and then translate it into real time using our own efforts. Considering how we've also just used AI to help expand and broaden what we already have, just so we can pitch more things to clients to find out what they like and dislike better and then refine it with our own work. So I'm just hoping companies like Cygames would only use AI in this direction. Their clients, the player base, still prefer non-AI generated content after all. Yeah, I think ultimately, again, what decides whether something is good or not is the consumer. And it's, again, very obvious when AI is used poorly and when AI is used to produce good outcomes. People like to say like, oh, Japanese people don't really care about the AI. This is a Japanese commenter. He notices this. He says, Cygames, the developer of umamusume, is facing backlash after announcing an AI-focused studio, or so they say. Are you listening, Cygames? You better realize sooner rather than later that you're shelling out a fortune to strangle your own company. It's a self-destruct. You're just racking up massive losses for nothing. This person says over here, if you look at the quotes, you'll see just how much backlash there's been overseas. Also, there are people saying if it's in-house, then blank. But the reality is there are no generative AIs that with commercial-grade performance that rely solely on in-house development right now. It's just a half-baked in-house setup where they lightly train their own products on top of a black box data set of 50-something billion. So black box, basically what this person is saying, I think, imagine like a container full of a bunch of different art pieces that the AI is consulting and looking and grading and saying like, this is good, that's bad, whenever they're making their micro decisions. Do you know we already have AI umamusume? Is that one game called Winning Derby? Right, yeah, that's true. That's actually a good point. Until we get something like this, I don't think I care, personally. This is where hell is. You know what I mean? This is where hell is. And I don't see umamusume becoming this. It's just weird to announce this right now when there's a lot of talk about an AI bubble potentially bursting. You know this whole talk of like the AI bubble potentially bursting? I heard this talk like 3 years ago, and it's still not done. Maybe it will. That's not to say that it won't, but it's just really hard for me to say that it will. If we're saying like it's a bad, like it's a dumb PR move or whatever, it's weird. I agree. I choose to trust in Cygames. After all, they made Cygames Studios just to make Cinderella Grey, Road to the Top, and beginning of a new era actually be a top-notch quality. I think the end product will always be something quality made. I think people are just jumping to conclusions too soon just because they saw the word AI, and it's also likely we won't ever see much mention of this AI studio again after this. Yeah. Okay, so very, very good, like, two key things I want to point out. If you want to talk about, like, track record, Cygames founded a studio. Initially with umamusume Season 1, 2, 3, they contracted, or subcontract, whatever you want to say, they offloaded the work, they commissioned other animation studios to produce their anime. After they acquire more capital, after they acquire more funding, right? They open their own studio. They hired their own animators. They hired their own producers to generate quality products. I mean, is anyone going to tell me that Cinderella Grey is shit? That Road to the Top is shit? That Beginning of a New Era was shit? Like, no one's going to say that to your face. They founded a new studio with very likely human animators. I highly doubt this stuff was made with generative AI. They hired normal human animators, talented people to do that. And also the other thing too is this point. I think people are just jumping to conclusions too soon just because they saw the word AI. And it's also likely we won't even see much mention of this AI studio again after this. I don't know. Do not go on Twitter and expect to read every opinion on this topic and expect it to be genuine, or expect the person to have made their tweet with more than a few seconds of thought. There are sort of trending bandwagons, right, of thought that it's basically like easy to get like a sort of dunk, right, or it's easy to score points. And Twitter, at the end of the day, is a game. A lot of people see it as a game in order to win social clout or like these little likes, these points on the internet. As of what I'm seeing right now from my design school, at least, we all hate the fact that we're being told to use AI. We still very much prefer to do the actual work ourselves. We still have pride and integrity as artists, after all. So I think Cygames is a company that puts so much love into their games won't do their artists dirty by using AI for everything, just to help with the workload to push out more content for the masses. That's what I think too. AI is a tool, or as much as it is a weapon. It can be used to make good things, and it unfortunately is used to make a lot of harm as well. The reality though is that the gaming industry is rife with AI usage. It is industry practice at the standard industry practice at the moment, with Expedition 33. I believe Larian Studios uses something, some AI for Baldur's Gate in terms of like the concept, and that's pretty much what I see here from Cygames, like how it's going to be going. I genuinely don't think that Cygames will be using AI for umamusume. I think the brand is way too tied to their idol-like voice actresses and their idol-like characters, and that it would be ultimately too harmful and dangerous to associate it with that brand. You can say like, yeah, they made this subsidiary AI studio, but you also have to give them the same amount of credit when they open a other subsidiary, which is Cygames Pictures, and them hiring a bunch of animators, producers, creators that are responsible for making Cinderella Grey, Beginning of a New Era, Road to the Top. I'm pretty sure Cygames is a smart company. They're a big corpo. They have a lot of valuable IPs. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to me that they will be utilizing these tools to a detriment for like umamusume, Grand Blue, or Shadowverse. If they were to use these AI tools, besides just selling them because it's a provision, it would be for newer IPs. It's definitely not anything to be boycotting about. It's definitely something to be raising awareness of, and definitely something to be like quote tweeting and, you know, giving them pressure and saying, hey, this kind of sucks dick. Make your opinion be heard, because the more it is heard, the less likely it is that they use it to not contaminate, but deteriorate their very strong existing IPs.